And good evening, everybody. I gotta be honest with you. when it comes to this episode of Raw, I really gotta be honest with you. I missed about 3/4 of it, and that was because I was interviewing Levi Margolin, excuse me. That interview, Levi Margolin, for those who don't know, wrote a book called Trump Mania, Vince McMahon, WWE, and the Making of America's 45th President, talking about McMahon's relationship with Donald Trump and how it ended, how Trump took from certain things from McMahon and incorporated it into his campaign, and Linda McMahon becoming the Small Business Administration, head for Trump's cabinet. It's a really good book. It's a really good interview. Levi Morgan has written for such sites such as PW Ponderings and ROHworld.com, but he decided to write this book as well, so I highly advise going and checking it out. If you want to go ahead and call into the show, let me know what you thought of Raw. There's the number, 434-710-4900. That's 434-710-4900. And I will go ahead and put you on the air here. The burial of Finn Balor continues. Somebody says that was the main event of Raw. No one gets buried in the main event. He kicked out of more AAs than even like Orton did. No, he didn't. And yes, you can still bury somebody in the main event. He was totally I'm sorry, it's wrong. Having a part-timer in that have him beat somebody else to get in there. It was an okay match, don't get me wrong. The match was okay. It wasn't anything spectacular. That's partially because the Philly crowd's a bunch of fucknuts. Excuse my language, but that's what they are. It's not just Philly. I shouldn't blame Philly. I'll say it like this. It's the smart mark day after WrestleMania style major cities crowds. How about that? How about that? Whenever they go to a major city and they do a Raw, or whenever they do a Raw after a big pay-per-view, it's going to happen next year in Arizona. It's going to happen, oh my God, New Orleans this year. Oof. You get a bunch of fans who have been doing nothing but lanking around Bourbon Street all day, and you pack them into the Smoothie King Center or wherever they're going to for Raw. Jeebus. Jeebus. There was no Ronda Rousey on Raw. From what I gather, they just recapped what happened last night. 3 of the 6 Elimination Chamber participants were announced or were decided. Let's run down here. We recap Asuka's moment at the Rumble and the debut of Ronda Rousey as a member of WWE. And, of course, we get Cole, Corey Graves, and Jonathan Coachman as your commentators. I'm glad Booker T is gone. I got sick and tired of the ramblings each and every week. I was beginning to think Grandpa Booker was finally starting to lose it, to tell you the truth. I want to remind you folks that we are streaming here on the For Pillow to Post YouTube channel. Be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. For more content such as this, we do pro wrestling, we do video games, we do movie news sometimes. The majority of it's wrestling based, though. If you'd like to support this channel, feel free to become a Patreon supporter for just $1 a month. You'll get the audio version of the official, unofficial CWF Mid-Atlantic After Show available for download when you become one of my $1 warriors. Again, information about that is in the links below, and we thank you very much for your, pardon the pun, patronage. Raw kicked off here with Stephanie McMahon making her way to the ring and welcoming everybody to Raw, and she brings out Asuka, who cuts a promo in Japanese because they think that the WWE crowd will appreciate it. Let me tell you something. And this is probably me. I'm going to catch a lot of flack for this, but this is me, pissing in the wind here, but when you watch a New Japan show, you have these fans that go, I would rather watch the Japanese commentary, and then you get promos in New Japan that are not in English. They don't have translators. So I guess they figured this was okay for an American audience to see. 90% of that crowd, your target audience, your kids, your little kids, are probably sitting there going, what's she saying, Mommy? What's she saying, Daddy? Mommy and Daddy is just sitting there going, I don't know something about the championship, son. I don't know something about the championship, daughter. Let her speak English. She can speak a little bit of English. Let her try, at least. They talk about how Sasha lasted almost an hour last night in the Rumble. Lasted almost an hour doing nothing. Nia Jax proved why she's an unmovable force, until everybody threw her over the top rope. They say it takes a village to raise a child. Well, it takes a whole Rumble to move a Nia. So Stephanie brings out Asuka. Asuka comes out, and of course, everybody tonight's got to point at the WrestleMania sign. That's the new thing, the pointing of the WrestleMania sign. She cuts a promo in Japanese and then points to the sign again, and then Stephanie goes, I know what that means. Yeah, pointing at the sign. We all know what that means. See, pointing at the sign's a good thing. You stupid. So she asks again which champion she's going to face. She speaks in Japanese, points to the sign, says no one's ready for Asuka, and that she's going to be the champion. Yeah, but which champion are you going to be? Sasha Banks comes out to the ring, apologizes, basically challenges Asuka, says she's ready for Asuka tonight, and Stephanie makes the match. Then Michael Cole reminds everybody about Shinsuke's decision to face AJ at WrestleMania, which was okay. I think you needed that there. And then says we're going to have qualifying champion matches for the Rumble, or for the Chamber, excuse me. Match number 1 is Braun Strowman versus Kane in a last man standing match to qualify for the Chamber. Why this is a last man standing match? Well, because Braun Strowman has to move furniture legally around the ringside area. Before the match even starts, Braun comes down to the ring. He's taking out chairs. He's taking out tables, putting them in the ring. Kane comes out. They brawl all the way into the crowd. Kane grabs a kendo stick before they brawl in the crowd, hits Braun in the back. Braun hits Kane with a chair on the outside of the ring, sends Kane into the barricade by the announce table, runs an anvil case into Kane's head that's pressed up against the announce table. The referee then almost starts his count, but Braun grabs a chair. The announcers leave the ringside area. He hits Kane in the ribs with the chair and then proceeds to flip not just the announce table, but the entire stage that the announce table is on, onto Kane. The referee, since it is a last man standing match, and for those who don't know, a last man standing match means that the loser cannot get to their feet before the referee's count of 10. We sat through a last team standing match at Battlecade for CWF Mid-Atlantic about a month ago. It's good. But the referee doesn't bother to count. He just calls for the bell. Doesn't even give Kane a chance to answer the 10 count. So your winner's Braun Strowman. He qualifies for the chamber. They call for the paramedics. They stretcher Kane out. Corey Graves is then asking Braun, because Braun comes back out. Corey Graves then asks Braun what he do, and Braun's like, I just did my job. Kurt said it's a last man standing match, and that's what I gave him. We go to commercial. Ugh. I'm sorry, but we discussed it last night on the Rumble thing. This is getting old. Because it always leads to fucking nowhere. It always leads to nowhere. Yay, he tipped a table over again. He's tipping shit over again. He beat Kane again. But where's it leading to for Strowman? He's not going to win that chamber match. Newsflash, guys. Who's going to win that chamber match? Say it with me. Roman fucking Reigns. They've been saying it. The dirt sheets have been calling this match, Roman versus Brock, since the day after WrestleMania last year in Orlando. We know what we're getting. It's how we get there that is more important, I think. You know the end game, but to me it's still the wrong end game. It was the wrong end game a year ago. It's the wrong end game now. It's a match that nobody really wants to see because they already know the outcome. Here's the thing. Here's what I think. Well, we'll get there. We'll get there. Here's what I think is going to happen. But I know what's going to happen, I should say. And I think it's the wrong way to go because it didn't work, but we'll get there. But again, Braun coming out every week and tipping a new thing over, showing how strong he is, means nothing if he doesn't win a title or win a big match every now and then. It means nothing in the end. Because what's going to happen? He's going to lose the chamber match. He's going to come out on Raw and start flipping shit over every week up until then and even after then, all the way up till Mania. Then at Mania, he's going to probably lose again, depending on what they do with him. We come back, and Kane has been taken to a local medical facility, and he's having trouble breathing. Kane stops Braun and screams at him, "What the hell was that? What are you doing? How many times do I have to have this conversation?" You continue to put people in danger. And Braun is like, yeah, you're right. You wanted a last man standing match. What the fuck did you think was going to happen? That I liked. This I liked. You put me in a situation. What the hell did you think was going to happen? Then we have Elias wearing a fucking kimono in the ring. Oh my God. Eventually, Matt Hardy comes out. Broken Matt Hardy. For an Elimination Chamber qualifying match with Elias. Elias! Matt Hardy or Elias is in the chamber. I don't want to see neither one of them in the chamber. This is your first elimination right here in this chamber match. Elias. So the match goes okay. But then Hardy hits a side effect for a near fall, and once he hits that, the lights go out. And it's Bray Wyatt's little deal, and then Elias, after the lights come back on, Elias hits a jumping kick followed by the drift away. After the match, Bray Wyatt appears on the Tron, and him and Matt Hardy laugh like the Crypt Keeper at each other. Why is this feud continuing? If these two fight at WrestleMania, my God, it's going to be so fucking much of a letdown. So Elias is now in the chamber, along with Braun Strowman. Then they show The Miz on Instagram. They show a fucking Instagram promo. Because social media. We got to go on social media. Again, this social media bullshit has to stop. That's not the key to bringing in people. So after all this crap, with the Instagram promo, Miz talks about, he gets that cheap heat in there because it's Super Bowl week. And the Eagles are in the Super Bowl. Fuck. Then you got Miz versus Roman for the Intercontinental title. And I gotta be honest with you, I hated it. Only part I liked about this is the fans booed the fuck out of Roman Reigns. I hope this is the end of this shit. I really do. I don't want to see these two fighting for the title again. Who Miz gets paired up with at the Chamber, I don't know. Hell, knowing WWE, next week they'll have these two fight again in a Chamber qualifier. Mark my words. They're going to have these two fight again next week in a Chamber qualifying match. Hell, put the title on the line too. Put that Intercontinental title on the line too. Why we're at it yet again? Why not? Why? Well, why not? So Bo and Curtis Axel get involved, and Bo Dallas gets involved, and we have the usual flippity flatty Superman fly fuckery do, and I gotta tell you, I expected more for a night after such a big pay-per-view. You're all over the news, WWE. You kicked off the show showing that you were everywhere today. On CBS Sports, on ESPN, everywhere. You got what you wanted, and then you gave the fans who are tuning in tonight, you gave them the same bullshit that drove them away in the first place. I'm glad The Miz won. He won with a roll-up. He had the tights. He cheated to win, as a heel should. Then they go to Paul Heyman's tweet. Now we're showing a tweet. First we got shown an Instagram. Now we're getting shown a tweet. Why not a tout next week? Don't they still own part of tout? Now we're looking at a tweet about the Chamber match. Talking about how it doesn't matter who faces Brock, blah, blah, the same flippity gum flabbing promo that you get from Heyman every time. No one can stop the beast, blah, blah, blah. We'll get into more about Heyman later. Match number 4 is Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder versus Rhino and Heath Slater. The match is joined in progress. Joined in progress. We don't get entrances. We don't get a bell ringing. We don't get introductions. Nope. Just throw them out there. It's joined in progress. The Revival ends up winning with the Shatter Machine. After the match, Scott mentions that they beat the first ever SmackDown Tag Team Champions. He asks, how do they compare to the Graham brothers? Nobody knows who the fuck they are. Us do. We do. Promobot 5000 says she doesn't know. Dash says, just like the fans who chant ECW to try to get themselves over, Dash says they learned from the past while these people can't stop living in it. I like the kind of inside shoot you are a bunch of marks promo from the revival. I like that. I don't like Promobot 5000 being in there, and I don't like matches that are starting in progress. Because we have to get that tweet out there first. We show Asuka in the back, and then we go to a commercial, and we come back, and it's time, they announce the Dudley Boys being in the Hall of Fame. I'm happy for them because I'm a huge Dudley Boy fan. We get a video of Finn Balor talking about being in the Rumble for more than 57 minutes, and the title match is what kept him, the promise of a title match is what kept him fighting, and that was taken away from by John Cena. Then Sasha Banks is with Renee Young. At least Renee is one step above Promobot 5000. Not on CO Party level, but she's above Promobot 5000. Asks her, Sasha is asked about facing Asuka and says she's moments away from beating Asuka and she's been waiting for this for a long time. And if somebody mentions how Asuka's been undefeated for more than 2 years, I'm going to puke. Sasha Banks versus Asuka. Ending saw Asuka going for the Asuka lock, but she's sent into the turnbuckles. Sasha with a lung blower in the bank statement. Sasha uses the ropes to roll into the center of the ring, but Asuka converts it into the Asuka lock, and Sasha taps out. Tonight it seemed like they were, turning Sasha a little bit. I like it. I liked Sasha's promo at the beginning of the show. It was real, more sassy, more like the NXT version of Sasha Banks that we got. So Asuka wins, and then we see John Cena, and he says that two people know their route to WrestleMania. Everyone needs to know how to get to WrestleMania. He let that path slip through his fingers last night. Same John Cena promo that we get every time. Oh, I'm not hanging up my boots. I'm in my 40s and working part-time, but I'm just getting started. I'm so sick of this crap. He's a part-timer. Why are we giving the part-timers even this type of attention? That's what I want to know. But I'm glad that Asuka's, and at the same token, maybe it's a good thing that they are, maybe it's a good thing that they're keeping the title of which title is Asuka going to go for a secret. Maybe they want her to wait until after after the Chamber, because we're getting an all-women's elimination chamber now. Maybe we're waiting until after that, then Asuka's going to decide. My thing is, they've pretty much told you where she's going, because why are you having a women's elimination chamber match? Why? Just to say you've had one? No, it's to determine a number one contender, because we know that Asuka's going to fight Charlotte at WrestleMania. And I have no doubt that Charlotte versus Asuka, it's going to be pretty good. I like that. I like it better than Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte. Call in tonight. Let me know what you think. 434-710-4900. The phone line is open. I'm curious to know what you guys thought about Raw. Put that in the chat room as well. Hit that follow button if you're watching us on Twitch. And also, please note that the software that I use, I cannot reply to your chats in Twitch. I can reply to them verbally, but I can't type them out to you just because of the software that I'm using. It'll let me read them, but it won't let me reply. So anyway, Titus O'Neil and Apollo Crews walk in the back with Dana Brooke. They're facing the Bar. I didn't get to see this because I was interviewing Levi Margolin, who I'm going to have that interview up on the site here right after I do the show. I'm going to upload that. It's a very good interview. Again, Levi Margolin, author of Trump Mania, Vince McMahon, WWE, and the Making of America's 45th President. It's a very good book. Highly suggest you pick it up and read it. So apparently the finish to this, winners are Sheamus and Cesaro. Did we have any doubt? When you look at this on paper, even I don't even have to watch this match. I don't even have to go back and watch it. I don't want to see it. Titus Worldwide versus the Bar. Really? It gets people used, I guess. I mean, hell. So then they're going to take a look at what happens after the Women's Rumble match with Rousey showing up and pointing at the WrestleMania sign. And that's all we got of Rousey tonight was a damn recap. Wrong move. Wrong move. You have the one thing that garnered you a shit ton of press last night and today. Probably the most mainstream press you've gotten in the last, 3 or 4 years. And you're not going to follow up on it the night after when you want people to tune in? Come on, Vince. Whose bright idea was it not to have her there? Is she having to go back to Colombia? You can't see it, but I'm putting up air quotes. Colombia? To film her little movie? What happened to her full-time contract? Whatever happened to, WWE has her her attention. We now know that's wrong. Michael Cole talks about what Kane did when he was at the hospital and that he's got up and left. So Kane's not at the hospital anymore. Who cares? Finn Balor versus John Cena. The match pretty much started like this. This crowd wants to be a bunch of jackasses all night? Fine. What did John Cena and Finn Balor do to reward them for it? They grab a hold. And then they go to commercial. And they grab another hold. It was primarily holds for the first half of this match. We're back from the commercial. I did get to see this match. And I liked how they played up to the fact of Jonathan Coachman's going, man, what happened since I've been away? I leave for a number of years, come back, and this crowd has totally turned on John Cena. And the rest of the commentator crew, Corey Graves and Michael Cole, played into it. Whoever was directing, whether it be Kevin Dunn or that's Kevin Dunn, they played into it. Vince told them apparently to play into it. They took shots of the crowd booing, and then about 3/4 of the way through the fucking match, before the next commercial, do I gotta say it again? Do I have to say it again? These fuckers with these beach balls. How are they getting them into the arena? Are your bags not searched beforehand? They need to do a better job of searching people, for real. Because if I was doing the searches, there wouldn't be a damn chance of a beach ball getting in that place. It'd be a full-on empty out your pockets and your bag search. And what does Cena do yet again? Cena plays up to it and tells them to have a good time and acts like he wants them to throw the beach ball to him. And Upstream Fool in the Twitch chat room goes, Balor was buried by Cena. Terrible booking. Thought tonight would have been a good time to start the Cena versus Taker feud for WrestleMania. Having Balor win and Taker offering away to WrestleMania for Cena, but at a cost. Put his career on the line. That's a hell of a story. The problem is they're not going to start that early, and here's why. Because Taker's not going to come in for that many dates. It's not going to take 10, 15 weeks to build, 70-something days to build up this storyline. Now, the night after the Chamber, when Cena comes out there and goes, man, looks like I'm not going to Mania this year. I don't have a match, guys. Sorry. The gong hits and Taker comes out then. I like your story, Upstream Fool. I really do. I really do like that idea. But it's too soon to start that. Now, what you could have done is kept Cena off TV completely. I guess he's not filming any movies or anything right now since Ferdinand's done come out and bombed. It's nominated for an Academy Award. Big deal. Best animated film and best song and for the Golden Globe. Didn't win, I don't know, one award, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. Did you hear what Taz said about Almas in the Rumble? I have not watched the Taz show yet. I tuned into the Taz show for the last half hour last night because I wanted to see what all the insiders like Taz and Meltzer and everybody said about the pay-per-view, but I didn't get to see all the Taz show. Feel free to put in the chat room what he said, but anyway, Cena ends up winning with an avalanche attitude adjustment after a little bit of back and forth, and they bury Finn Balor yet again. John Cena, a part-timer, a free agent nonetheless. Is that how they're going to appeal us by going, fuck, we're not getting Rousey for another month? Here's John Cena to tide you over. Guess what? I was watching Ariel Helwani today when he had Meltzer on talking about the whole Ronda Rousey situation. And Ariel Helwani read nothing but tweet after tweet and email after email from fans outside of the core WWE audience that could give two shits about the fact that Ronda Rousey's in WWE. Oh, Taz hated the fact that Almas was in the Rumble. Yeah, it's kind of weird having your champions. They had the women's champion, Ember Moon, in the women's Rumble. So that was Raw. Raw's sitting there looking at the announcers who, that's another thing. Their table gets flipped over, and it takes at least three segments for them to get a new table built at ringside. And when they built the new table at ringside, it totally took up one side of the ringside area to where they could, if they went outside, if any of the workers went outside the ring to do a spot, they couldn't do it on that side. There was no way to do it. Let's see. You write this into the script that the announce table is going to get flipped over. Shouldn't you build a larger ringside area right there to accommodate the new table? And then they're sitting 5 feet away from the ring, and they're down, while this table is being built, they show them looking down at a little TV. Somebody on Twitter, I retweeted it, goes, so this is what it looks like when you move Monday night and Monday Night Raw comes on and you don't feel like unpacking anything else but the TV to watch Raw. I was like, I've been there before. I've moved into houses on a Monday during the day, and then Monday night, oh, time to watch Raw. Let's break the TV out. Nothing else. I won't even have the bed set up. I'll be sleeping on the floor for that first night, but I'll be watching Raw. The Ronda Rousey situation, let's get into this here. Fans are sick and tired of the part-time shit. And I've seen so many people today comparing her to Brock Lesnar. Does she have a deal like Brock Lesnar? She tells these reporters, this is not a part-time thing. I'm here full-time. I'm here to, be a regular member of this roster. But yet Dave Meltzer and everybody else seem to think that, no, maybe the Brock Lesnar part-timer route is the way to go for her. I won't say I completely disagree, but I do disagree a little bit with it. And I'll give you my reason. Fans are already sick and tired of Brock Lesnar. They're sick and tired of the classic Paul Heyman, Brock Lesnar Beast promos. They're sick and tired of it being so predictable like last night was. We all knew Kane was just there to take the fall. Come on. You can't tell me you didn't go into that thinking that Braun Strowman or Kane were walking out of their champion. So people are sick of it. People are sick of the part-timer coming in year after year now, getting $1 million or close to $500 million a year or whatever the contract is for, to work 30 dates. And people say, well, Joe, he's a special attraction. Fans are bored with it. I am. I'm bored with it. Yeah, you get to see him more during this time of the year than you would any other time. And yes, he's usually at WrestleMania and Extreme Rules. But I want a champion who's there every week. I want a champion who's going to defend that title at every pay-per-view. I'm sick of the part-time stuff. And the last thing I want to see is the new kid on the block, again, coming from, Brock was in wrestling first, but he came back from that MMA world to work that part-time schedule. The last thing I want to see is a female version of that. And the last thing I want to see is what we got in the Rumble was these part-timers or legends coming in and destroying your core roster. It's going to do more damage than it is good. Yeah, we could fight amongst ourselves, and this person can beat that person can beat this person, but nobody on that roster could beat Ronda Rousey. And you're going to go, Joe, what's the difference between that and Asuka? Asuka's competing every week, having matches every week, and kicking ass every week. There's a huge difference in that and somebody who comes in only for the big four. I don't want to see Lesnar no more doing it. I don't want to see Ronda Rousey doing it. You know what I want to see Ronda Rousey doing? Paying her fucking dues. You know what I want to see Ronda Rousey doing? Working house shows. Well, Joe, that's never going to happen. Why not? Here's the way I look at it. You want to come into our world? You want to say to ESPN that you're here full time? Then be full-time. Well, Joe, that's not good for business. She's a special attraction. Again, I'm sick of the special attraction. Everything should be a special attraction. That's how you make your business mean something. Everything should be must-see. Not just one person 4 times a year, but everybody 365. Well, Joe, that's not how professional wrestling works. It may have been how it worked when Andre was around. Andre would only wrestle. Andre wrestled more than Brock. Hell, let's call a spade a spade. Andre the Giant has wrestled more matches than Brock Lesnar. Upstream Foot in the chat room goes, I thought the way they introduced Rousey was lame. I would have either had Heyman come out and introduce his new client, Ronda Rousey, or at least have her come through the crowd, cause interference in the Rumble, ultimately pissing Stephanie off and having her ask Rousey what the hell she's doing there, and then Rousey announces her arrival. Here's the thing about that. Unless she's signing exclusive to SmackDown, Stephanie should know what she's doing there. The Paul Heyman with Ronda Rousey thing. I like it and I don't like it. I don't like it because you're getting a different shade of blue and the reason why I compare, say it like that is people are already complaining about the Paul Heyman promos. People are already complaining about how it's the same thing with Paul Heyman. What do you think he's gonna say about Rousey? It's gonna be the same promo, except for take out Brock's name and insert Ronda's name. Do I like the idea of her being with Heyman? Yes. If the promos were different and more fresh, then I'd like it even more. Does it give Paul Heyman something to do while, because if Brock loses the title at WrestleMania, I don't want to see Brock for at least a year. At least a year. But Paul Heyman has said time and time again he likes the gig he has with WWE. If he's not doing WWE, he's doing his Looking for Larry production agency thing, ad agency thing. Would he want to come and manage Ronda Rousey? For the short term, it may be good because we don't know how Rousey is on the mic. She damn sure wasn't the Rousey that I wanted to see last night at the Rumble. I think I said it last night on the post-game show that I did with AC. Check it out right now on the channel. It's in the archives. Ronda should have came out there with that mean, I'm going to fuck you up face right on her, that mean look. What I like to call mean face Ronda. The Ronda Rousey that scares me when I see her looking like that. But no, we got happy, bubbly Ronda. And you know what that made her look like? Every other diva on the roster. It didn't make her look, she's special in name and reputation only. People trash the Joan Jett song. That's the song she used in UFC. The fact that WWE even negotiated rights for outside music, which they have not done since CM Punk, and were hesitant to do then, shocked the hell out of me. I'm surprised we didn't get some CFO Dollars remix of the damn shit. But that's what I want to see out of Ronda Rousey. You want to come into our world? You want to be a pro wrestler? Go be a pro wrestler. Hell, I'd put her ass in NXT for a couple months to jumpstart that brand. God knows the women's division down in NXT needs a little bit of a jumpstart. They got Ember Moon and they got the chick from Sanity, Nikki Cross. That's about it. The rest of the women down there are divas. And yes, there is a difference between a women's wrestler and a damn diva. To me, Peyton Royce and Billie Kay, they're nothing but a modern day version of the Bella Twins. I don't enjoy their work at all. They remind me of women that we would see, like a Layla or like a damn, somebody who they looked in the Hooters calendar, thought was hot and said here, or somebody who Laurinaitis would look at the Miss Hawaiian Tropic calendar in his office and say, hey, I like the look of this one, let's sign her. Hell, have Ronda Rousey go down there, since she's been training at the Performance Center on the weekends. Since WWE has your time now, honey, you're going to be there a lot more than the weekends if I sign you. If it was me in charge, you'd be there down there every fucking day. If anything, this is a way to get your fans back. Why did all the MMA fans suddenly jump to UFC? Because it's quote-unquote real and it's not bullshit storylines. Most UFC guys think of pro wrestlers, they just do that flippy fake shit. What a way to advertise how, hey, this is more real than you think, when a UFC fighter like Ronda Rousey is taking bumps every fucking night. Does she have to stay in NXT long? No. Maybe 6 months. But no. You know what they're going to do with her, folks? They're going to bring her in and have her tag team with The Rock. What does that say for Rowdy Ronda Rousey, a total badass, to be put in a fucking mixed tag match? That sends the wrong message, man. You want this woman to be the baddest bitch on the planet. Nope, we're going to put you in a tag match with the owners. Why? Why? I'll tell you why. Because the McMahon's egos have to be fucking stroked. That's why. Because Stephanie McMahon has to play owner or part owner, has to go to daddy and say, put me in a match, this will draw. No, you know what it's going to, Ariel Helwani, who I think speaks for that outside audience that they're trying to draw by this, said, why? With the owners? What does it do? Is it an ego thing? And Meltzer goes, yes. He laughed. And yeah, it's an ego thing. So it's an ego thing why you're not in that ring with, like, let's say a Becky Lynch or something. I just don't know what to do with her. I don't want to see her in a tag match. I don't want to see her going for the title real soon. But what do you do with Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania if you can't have her fight for the title and you can't have her being in a fluffy little tag match with The Rock and Triple H and Stephanie? Because it's got to be a spectacle. WrestleMania is all about the spectacle. We think we're going to sell more tickets, and we think we're going to get more network subscriptions if we do this. You're not. Because the day after WrestleMania, when we make that big earnings report and we announce how many subscribers we have off this, we want that inflated number to be really good, because we're not going to tell you which of these numbers are 3-month free subscriptions. We're not going to tell you how much of these subscribers signed up for 3 months for $1.99, or even me, 99 cents. We're not going to discuss how many of these are the prepaid cards. We're just going to give you a big old fat number that tuned in to see WrestleMania. Guess what? Then summertime comes. And the same fans that signed up, all those new subscribers that signed up Vince to see WrestleMania, they're going to go away again. Because you're going to misuse probably one of your biggest, mainstream signs of the decade. You're going to misuse Ronda Rousey. Was it exciting to see her last night? Yes. Do I have high hopes? No. Let's talk about New Japan Pro Wrestling. I'm happy for New Japan Pro Wrestling, and I'm also kind of scared for them at the same time. According to sites everywhere, they're running a building. Let's see here. They are running the Walter Pyramid in Long Beach. Roughly around 5,000 people. And they sold 4,700 tickets in 20 minutes this morning. Good for them. Could they have went more than that? I hate to bust Cody Rhodes' bubble, but I wholeheartedly agree. Again, with this style of wrestling, if you build it, the sheep will come. I wholeheartedly think if they could have ran the 10,000 seater in Long Beach, if they could have found somewhere in California that could hold 10,000, they would have drawn 10,000. I think New Japan has that, but I want to stress, I discussed this with Levi Margolin in my interview that's about to be posted later on. New Japan's kind of waning back on their U.S. presence for now. They want to milk it. They don't want to do too much too soon, which may be a good thing. So they're going to draw 5,000 people for March 25th in Long Beach. It's on a Sunday, no less, at 5 p.m. It's an interesting looking building. Floor seats. One set of bleachers on every side. I'm reading this tweet here. Somebody says, to me, that means they could do a 10,000 seat venue like December 1st in a top 10 market. Somebody said they were already gone at 10:10. They sold out in 10 minutes, somebody said. Someone's making a ton of money off the secondary market. It's BS. You know what? You're probably right. Half these tickets will wind up on StubHub for 3 times as much. Ring of Honor announced that some of the people from Stardom are coming over. Stardom, of course, is Japan's women's division. Festival of Honor in New Orleans will host the semi-final matches of the Women of Honor Championship Tournament. Glad to see some of the Stardom people being signed. Apparently, Ring of Honor is going back to Center Stage in Atlanta on February the 10th. February 9th in Concord, the Young Bucks are going to be fighting Best Friends. February 9th as well, Dalton Castle and the boys are taking on SoCal Uncensored. Looks like Jay Lethal is taking on Jonathan Gresham as well in Concord. Lots of Ring of Honor stuff. We talk a lot of Ring of Honor in that interview with Levi Margolin. I don't know why I say Morgan. Sorry, Margolin. I'm sorry, Levi. So yeah, that was my thoughts of Raw. I gotta tell you, I did not like the show overall. What I saw of it, the Braun Strowman stuff is just gotta stop. Either pull the plug with the guy or quit. You're leaving him in limbo too long. Hell, people online today were going, is he going to bring down the Titantron next week? And I'm sitting there going, no, fuck that. Have him tear down the WrestleMania sign next week. And that'll be like the discontinuing of the WrestleMania sign. Somebody asking me here, what about Raw's new graphics? I'll tell you what I said on Twitter when I saw him. Polish a turd, it's still a turd. That's what I think about their new graphics. It's the same graphics. Again, polish a turd, it's still a turd. Nia Jax put on Twitter here, oh my God. An hour ago, Nia Jax, very interesting tweet from Nia Jax. In the chat room upstream, Fool goes, Rousey's image of being a badass has already been tarnished by everyone seeing her being bubbly in her interviews. Yeah. She would have come in as a heel for me, he says. You're absolutely right, me too. Nia Jax on Twitter goes, cool, she's here. I guess 30 women making history can just be forgotten. Wow. Wow. Way to go, Nia. I totally agree. It totally overshadowed the moment. They did the Being the Elite today. The new episode of that got released on Twitter. I advise you go watch it. It's actually very entertaining. Wandering around a Japanese airport with their flights getting canceled, and they keep running into kids. Like there's, you know how at the airport they got those moving sidewalks? They're on one moving sidewalk going towards their gate for their flight, and Kenny Omega's going the other way. He's like, first class boarding is at this gate for our flight. You know, I got to go this end of the airport. So the gist of the episode is that they're kind of, that Kenny Omega is avoiding the Bullet Club. And this is prior to the New Beginning in Sapporo. But go to the YouTube, watch Being the Elite. If you have not watched the Night in Sapporo shows, the New Beginning in Sapporo shows, go watch those first. But the way that episode of Being the Elite ends, I have to ask, for those in the know, because I don't follow the Young Bucks and the New Japan Bullet Club versus the Ring of Honor Bullet Club. To me, it's all one thing. Is the Being the Elite thing supposed to cover the Ring of Honor style Bullet Club only? Or does it play into the actual Japanese storylines as well? Because it's very blurred lines. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get off here for the night. I'd like to thank everybody that tuned in. I got a video to upload again. We got the video. It's an interview with Lavie Margolin, author of Trump Mania, Vince McMahon, WWE, and the Making of America's 45th President. Also, we talk a little bit about the Sinclair era of Ring of Honor and what them being on WGN means. Rumors circulating that Sinclair Broadcasting, the owner of Ring of Honor, is supposed to announce the official acquisition of WGN America coming this Friday. It's supposed to be announced this Friday in the trades. So expect that to blow up on the news sites when it does. So we'll see if that happens. It was supposed to happen last week, but it got delayed. And Lavie Margolin tells us why it's been delayed. But thank you, Lavie Margolin, for that scoop. Anyway, folks, I'm going to go and jump off of here. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button or follow button if you're on Twitch. Become a Patreon supporter of mine. For just $1 a month, you get exclusive content, which is the official, unofficial CWF Mid-Atlantic After Show in audio form. Link is below in the description if you want to become a Patreon supporter, and we thank you very much for your patronage. If you don't know what the official, unofficial CWF Mid-Atlantic After Show is, every Wednesday night, the promotion out of North Carolina, CWF Mid-Atlantic, puts on a weekly YouTube series. We go on the air about a half an hour afterwards at about 10:30 Eastern and review it. We've had CWF wrestlers show up on the show. They show up in our chat room, so feel free to come in, say hi. Obviously, watch the episode of CWF Worldwide first. You can, again, it drops every Wednesday at 9 o'clock on CWFWorldwide.com. That's CWFWorldwide.com. It is a brilliant indie promotion. You will believe again if you watch this. Let me tell you, it's very, very good. So for $1 you get the audio version of the after show so that you can download it, put it on your phone or your MP3 player, whatever the case may be. And again, that's for $1 a month. And if you decide to go ahead and sign up at Patreon and become a Patreon supporter, you get a shout out every Wednesday on the after show. When you do subscribe, we do subscriber shout outs for new subscribers. So we thank you very much ahead of time for that. I'm going to go ahead and get off here for the night again. Thank you very much to everybody who watched and listened. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and more importantly, spread the word about this channel. Spread the word about the From Pillow to Post channel, because we need to grow. We need more subscribers. We need to break the new YouTube threshold, if you will. The road to 1,000 is what I'm calling it. Hell, I'd be happy to reach 200 by the end of February. I got high hopes, folks. Trust me. I want to be able to do this full time. So, thank you so much for watching. And we will see you. Somebody just asked, am I going to do a post show for SmackDown? Probably not. It depends on how I feel. But I'll definitely see you Wednesday night for the official, unofficial CWF Mid-Atlantic After Show. I'm Joe White, folks. We'll see you down the road.